Hello and welcome to the We Team meeting on February 14th, 2022. Happy Valentine's Day, everyone. Shannon, I forgot to ask you before I started the recording, but would you like to bring everybody into the space?
Sure, sure, I can do that. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. So,
Valentine's Day.
yeah, happy Valentine's, hearts and love. And I was thinking about that this morning, and I was thinking about just how, all the lessons we need to learn about love, like loving ourselves, right? That's probably the biggest one, the one we come in with, the one we go out with, and the one we seem to have the hardest time really deeply loving. And so just encouraging everybody to know that you were born into being by love, and that that your purpose is to love and be loved, and that everything in the universe is here to support you in that. And our human condition is that we seem to be blind to that many, many times, So if we can just take a moment and let ourselves feel the fact that everything in the universe has come to be so that we could be now here in this moment with each other, birthing with love into a new reality, into how we operationalize the we going forward. So if we can take a couple of deep breaths and recognize that we're all in this together, we're breathing in all of that beautiful love that the universe is giving us, and we're breathing out all the things that we need to breathe out and release so that we can be present with each other in this conversation at this time. So a couple of more deep breaths, just in and out. And when you breathe in, just there's this moment, that pause. I think Catherine speaks about it so much, just that pause in between the in and the out, where there's just a perfect harmony that exists there in that pause. And let us be in that pause with each other as we have this conversation. So thanks. I'll turn it back over to you. Mm-hmm.
Very beautifully said. So I'll give a quick update on Rick. I did speak to him last night. He is doing well. He did have pneumonia. He was on a round of antibiotics, and they'll be checking today to see if that has cleared up. If it has, then they will discuss sending him home. So hopefully soon he will get to go home back to his natural habitats and be in much better spirits, but he is doing really, really well. He was having a little bit of difficulty finding the correct words, but he's made so much improvement just in the past few days with that. So if next time you do speak to him, just be aware of that. He might struggle a little bit, but he usually does pretty good. If he can spell out the word, then he can say it. He knows what he wants to say. He just has trouble getting it all put together. But he's doing fantastic. He sends all of his love to everyone, and he's really grateful and thankful for all the support that he's receiving. And he wants to make sure that everybody knows how much he does love you, and he will be back on the scene. He's definitely not going to give up. So he will be around still. Good old fearless leader, as Jenna calls him. So does anybody have any questions about Rick? That's the latest that I have on him.
Go ahead, Shannon.
Oh yeah, my question, Angel, is that it's always this balance and between allowing somebody enough space to do their healing that they need to do, and not and being able to show support. So I guess my question really has to do with, I have chosen not to, attempt to contact all that kind of stuff because of that space. Are there any other things that you know or he knows of that would be supportive?
Yeah, he is able to check his emails now, and he has his laptop at the hospital with him. He definitely loves to see all of the emails coming through of sharing the prayers and love and support. So that's definitely okay. We're just kind of trying to protect him a little bit from the work stuff, so that he doesn't get stressed out about that. I do give him updates about what's going on, and what everybody is up to. So if you do want to email him, that's totally fine.
Thanks.
Sue?
And I just wanted to say that my sister had a stroke, and the recovery from that took a way long time. But she has significantly improved to the point where she can almost have a conversation without reaching for the words like she did in the beginning. So I just want to say to Rick that it's a process, and it's wonderful that he's making good progress.
Yeah, he's keeping his spirits up. He's not getting frustrated about not being able to, find or to say the words the way that he knows he's supposed to. So he's not getting frustrated with it. He's focusing on recovery and rebuilding those neural pathways to make that happen. So he knows that he's going to be okay.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. So if everybody just wants to certainly email him and just give him some love and support, he loves to see those messages.
Does he watch the meeting recordings?
I don't know if he does or not, but he does have the link to so I've been adding them now to a private playlist on our YouTube channel. So I'm not sure if he's going and looking at those or not, but I will remind him that those are there if he wants to see any of those. So. Is that it?
I have another question.
Mhm.
It really has to do with music, because Rick's life is so much in his music, right? And so I'm wondering if, how that, is he still able to play or enjoy music?
I don't know that yet, and I don't know if he knows if he can yet. I'm thinking that he's probably going to be okay in terms of that. He didn't lose any of his motor function, so he's still able to walk and things like that. Really, they considered it a mini stroke. He really only lost some of that cognitive ability to find his words. So they expect him to make full recovery from the stroke. He'll just still have that, slow recovery from the heart attack that he had in January, but hopefully he can get back to his music, but I don't think he's going to know that until he gets home and tries it, I guess. Catherine?
Hi, yeah, I just wanted to say that if people need a comfy couch, we should just create one. We all kind of know how that goes. I think it's important for the rest of the group not to be dismissive of their own sense of vulnerability or fear or concern. And sometimes expressing it relieves that anxiety we may be holding. So I think that we should keep a space for that if anybody wants to take it there. And so I would start by saying that honestly, one of the reasons I haven't been participating as much over the last year or so, 6 months or so, is because I feel that vulnerability. I've lost a lot of people to COVID in the last year, or gotten sick, or some kind of something. And I have felt very fragile, and have been very mindful not to push myself beyond what I feel capable of. And I think we have to leave room for people to acknowledge where they are and to honor that so that we don't all end up in a hospital bed. So I just wanted to put that out there.
Thank you, Catherine. That's very well said. And so what I was going to do was go into the business stuff and then do the, let everybody process and things like that. But I think probably we should just start with the processing part. Everybody pretty much knows what they should be doing right now, but we could certainly address business related stuff at the end. I could stay on and we can go through that. I think it is more important for everybody to be able to express themselves right now. If anybody wants to go next.
I wasn't meaning to derail you. I just wanted to
No,
make
that's-
sure the space was open.
I think that is very, very important. And we could do the business related stuff at the end. If anybody needs to stay on and talk about anything they have going on or need help with. I think it is more important for us to get our team back together. Rick has been doing this pretty much himself for years. And there's no way we can keep going as a one-man show. So I think we all need to come together as a team, start building that rapport again, and everybody giving everybody hugs again, virtual hugs. So the We family, bring the We family back together. So if anybody else wants to share what's happening with them, that would be great.
Yeah, I'll go next. I, in that space that we had, 2 weeks of no meetings, Rick is out. People were asking us not to, ask Ellum and Jana to do things rather than bothering you, Angel. And so it created a vacuum, right? And in that space, what came up for me is, oh my goodness, maybe it's time to do this differently and shift the way that this team works. And I would like to just open us to that possibility that clearly relying so heavily on one or two people is not healthy for all of us as a team and for the individuals who bear the overburdening burdens. And so I would love to just open it up as an opportunity to do things differently and probably more effectively. That we have an opportunity here is all. And for me personally, I see the work with the Climate Collaboratory coming into a new phase, that we've found the 6 week, the first, well, we established it in 2019. In 2020 and 21, we did a pilot that was an 8-month program that laid the foundation for what we're doing now, which is broken down now, coming very clearly that what we're doing is a 6-week program that will repeat again and again and again with different audiences and focuses, and just beginning to get a sense of the timeline that goes really, this group would see it going from September to September through the year, with different stops along the way, and other groups would then take the lead for different parts of the year. So it's really what do you call this? Spreading the work out. Many hands make light work, right? And bringing in many other organizations to be part of our process. And so that's what I'm trying out in Alachua County as a demonstration site. And I want to just see how this it's like an organic thing that is blossoming. And I want it to be available as a way to unite all of the 11 campaigns in the 11 gardens of global unity, right? That we have Rick laid the foundation for the Welcome to We show to be where we bring in all these other groups to talk about. So what are the action plans that are happening now? Who's doing what? And it's much more than just our little group, but it is all 11 of the gardens, all the campaigns. And so we need everybody. We need everybody. So come on, play along. And it's just an opportunity. And I felt like, oh my goodness, maybe it's time now. And I put out that email that kind of started a conversation that I hope we can continue in a wonderful way.
And I am very much in agreement with that. Even so, technically, Rick has left me in charge to man the ship here. That's a very scary place for me to be, for sure. But I do not want to be like anybody's boss. I don't want to tell people what to do. I want us all to work together. I don't want a top-down organization. I want us to be a circle, a council. Everybody is in this together. And however, we have to do that, let's do that for sure. And I know Callum has to leave soon. Callum, do you want to jump in and say anything before you have to go?
Not much. I will get back to people, I promise. I'm just behind. I know stuff from Sue, Jack, I know I've seen your thing about the video. The answer is going to be yes. If you didn't already send me the video, you can send it and I'll get it up. And I'll get back to anyone else I need to. Hopefully by the end of the week, I have meetings about 6 hours a day until Friday. So I'll try to get back as soon as possible.
Yeah, thank you, Callum.
Was that the video from our We show or a different video?
A different video. It's from the, what is it? The nonprofit quarterly. They put out a really cool thing for like the poor people's campaign. These are people the poor people's campaign should hook up with. So I want to get it out there.
Good.
At least I think that's who they should hook up with, and I'm sure they'd agree.
All right, Angelina is here. Angelina, are you on a time limit?
Hi.
Hi.
My video, but the camera is not, so I'm going to look sideways. Okay, there we are.
There you are.
Hi. Okay. Do I say welcome back or congratulations or we
All
miss
of the
you?
above.
Okay. Great to have you back. Well, mine is a short update. We're having we're almost at the completion of the unleashing the African potential that we're doing with the weekend leaders. And we're gonna start rolling out the new and improved program to the public, that is to the community. And the other update is that we are also almost finishing the Power of Our Stories workbook with Jackie Parker. And on the 22nd of Feb, we're launching a workshop, the 12th week course workshop with a group of youth and adults. So I think that's all. I'd also like to apologize to Sue for not being able to honor her invitation. I am overwhelmed by a lot of things and I'm forgetting stuff. It's really a miracle that I don't forget myself sometimes. So I'm really sorry, but I will try and make it up to her soon.
May I say thank you for that, and not a problem that I too
Okay.
am feeling up to here. And we had a very good session and came up with a little bit of an action plan. And I need to share that with you and others in Africa, and I will do that.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Also, I got in touch with an organization this morning in regards to being able to retain volunteers so that I'm not doing most of the work, and then I can be able to participate more in other collaborations and partnerships. So I hope for the best for this year in terms of that area, so that I can also be a bit more present here as well.
You are very
All right.
inspiring, Angelina. I do have a
Thank
little
you.
bit of good news. It's not finalized yet, but I think there's some funding coming in for our weekend groups. So you should be getting
Yay.
a little bit of funding soon to help with your projects there. So
Yay. All right. Thank you. I will keep it in my prayers until it comes into fruition as well as keep all of you in my prayers as well.
thank you, Angelina.
All right. Okay, lots of love. Bye.
Who would like to go next? Heidi is here. Heidi, we're processing what's been happening lately. So we're just going through that, how everybody's personal experiences are and anything that's weighing heavy on them right now, so we can lighten the team up and get back to work. Anybody want to go next?
I'll go. So I've been mainly participating with Sue when I can and I'm available. And so that's been exciting, through this time. And I'm listening. I'm just doing a lot of listening right now to kind of, help me think about how this, how we move from a hierarchical structure to a we structure, and and even in the business side of that, what does that look like and how does that operate? And I always think about I've been spending a lot of my time in a couple of different arenas, several different arenas at the same time, which is all interconnected, right? But one of those arenas is in leadership and looking at kind of different models of leadership, and really most of the models that are out there, really, even though they talk a lot about presence-based leadership or transformational leadership or this leader, they're still based on kind of the Western construct of leadership. And so it's been something that I've been looking at, like how, just Sue, you use the word organic. What does an organic organization really look like? And how is that different than, our most organizations, even especially within because you have the organization itself, and then you have the dictates of being an organization, right? So there's certain constraints on being a not-for-profit organization, certain responsibilities, certain requirements in order to have that status. And so how does that interact with operating with a we kind of, how do we do this together? How do we organically? So, and I don't have any of the answers. I just have a lot of questions. But I think that questions are the way that, I do believe in that Clue Train Manifesto, that the questions we ask determine the future. So really thinking about asking good questions, like how we are. I agree with Sue. I think we're at a beautiful opportunity. Now's when we get to really say, okay, how do we really move forward with our partners. And what a wonderful opportunity we have right now with our partners, because it becomes clear how much we need their efforts, right? Their outreach, their connections, the sign network, all of those things to help elevate this to the degree that it needs elevation. And the other thing that I've been doing, just sharing, I've been doing a lot of thinking about is, and it continues to be how we reach more of our world, our we world, that operates in different siloed disciplines, and they still continue to do that. We have our education disciplines, we have our justice disciplines, we have our physical health disciplines, we have our behavioral health, we have all these disciplines that are still operating in the individual discipline. And, you know, we have efforts here and there to create these a different you know, a different container for all that, and it's a process. So so I'm hanging in there, kind of, so to speak, to just kind of be in that space, and at the same time continuing to weave things together. And we have opportunities to elevate and go into places like I really believe in going to places that, quote unquote, I either don't belong or that I have in the past considered enemy territory. And I do that because I think there is value in the collective intelligence, right? And so one of those places was to move into, and many of you may be in these camps, but I certainly was never in the Christian camp, right? So, but when I moved into, you know, Christian writing and Christian kind of, how do we get our message to those that are picking up books that are, you know, on the display in the Christian section. And I found the way in so that we can talk about we in the divides, how to heal the divides, right? So, I guess that's the other part of, if we're really connecting and interconnecting everybody, I'm encouraging everybody to put on their hats, or take off their hats, one of the two, to find themselves in places that are they might not have thought of before, because that's where we expand to we. That's how we, you know, we don't just hang out with, quote unquote, the tree huggers and environmentalists, and we don't just hang out with, you know, but I'll know we're there when at our conversation, we have somebody who's the head of an extraction company who is with us, who is talking to us, and who we have come to some kind of aligned perspective in terms of what we do next, right? So anyway, how we all operationalize that, I'm, you know, I think that this is a very important part, if we are going to be a we, is that we have to lead from the heart. So Angel, I know that there's the T's and the I's, and they have to be done. That's the technical part that does have to be done. And give it up to those that do that. And we have to start with this. So I appreciate that you allowed space for it. So thanks, Angel. Thanks everybody for hanging in here as we, as Heidi always says, here we grow, right? Here we grow. So thanks.
Thank you, Shannon. And that, you know, that brings us back to what the mission of we is all about anyways, to connect, mobilize, and accelerate. So we need to, so the way I see it is, Jana, Callum, and I, and Rick, we're just holding down the fort you all are the troops, and you're going out here and you're connecting with all of these organizations and partners and people, all these grassroots movements, and you're bringing them back to our camp, so that we can come into council, hopefully eventually, this is the plan, come into council with these people and really start putting our resources together and really taking action on what needs to happen to save the planet and humanity. So that's how I see, how we're operating here, but it needs to be, everybody needs to be safe and comfortable and part of what's happening here. Everybody needs to know that their voices are heard, their input is valued for sure. And we just need to figure out how we can, as you said, organizationally, how we can bring that together. And we'll just, of course, I'll be the one to dot the I's and cross the T's. That's my job, I guess, but there's so much more to what we're doing and where we're going. And I want everybody to feel like everybody here is a leader in some form. And I just want everybody to own that and know that it's a valuable part of what we're trying to accomplish here. Jack, you're muted.
All right, pardon. Yeah, well, I like we talk about like going from a hierarchical organization to a more circular one, which I think is a good thing, but we might not have, I don't think that far to go, because at least I have not felt or seen much of a hierarchical dominance in this group. I mean, I felt pretty free to do whatever I want. I didn't feel like there's somebody there as the boss telling me what to do. So I think a lot of it, we're already a long ways towards being that more circular thing. And I think why we aren't maybe more collaborative and collective oriented is not due to the hierarchical structure, but just we haven't done it. I don't think the structure would have gotten in our way if we would have done, if we were to come together wanting to do these things. I didn't see any block to that, except for us maybe not having the time, energy, the other things get in the way, but I don't think it was the structure. Now, on the other hand, to make it official, kind of a more circular structure, maybe that would bring more people in and that would work better that way, then would participate together more than we have, because we do kind of have our silos in our campaigns. But that, again, I don't think is because of a hierarchical structure. I think it's just because the leaders of our campaigns just haven't been able to get it together to be more collective in that respect. And so to get that started here, and maybe it's already happening with the people here, it probably is, but I do want to say that as part of collaborating with the economic justice area and the store, please look around at your friends and business associates or people you have meetings with, and see if you can locate people who want to be vendors, and also let people know that the store is there and that it's going to take a while to grow. It hasn't been as easy as I thought it would be in the beginning. I kind of thought that this would be a lot of people out there who would really want to do it, and it hasn't quite happened that way, but I think it will. I think that we have the store is a really good thing. It's just taking longer for it to manifest the kinds of things we want it to manifest. And the other part of that is I've been a little slow. I've been doing things, but I've been trying to put together a larger outreach with a lot of the groups, and I'm starting to get more active in doing that now. So hopefully that'll bring about some progress in that direction. But yeah, I'll take some of the blame for not progressing as fast as I would like to have. But anyway, I love this conversation. I think it's great, and I think it looks like everybody's pretty much in agreement.
Yeah, and I would just like to point out that that was a good point, Jack, because I don't think the issue here is the hierarchy, because there's really not one. It's there's only certain people that know how to do certain things, and we've created bottlenecks. So I think that's our real issue. It's not who's in charge, because we all know we're leaders. It's only having certain people that can do certain things, and that's what we've been working on a little bit, trying to resolve that, because Rick was the number one bottleneck. Him and I have been in competition for a while to see who could be the biggest one. And I learned as much as I could about what he was doing so that he could pass off a lot of that. But there's still parts of We the World that I don't have access to, or I don't know how to do yet. So he still has a few things hanging out there that even I can't do for us. And we're working on that. But the things that I've been doing, I've been trying to show Jenna and Callum how to do that as well, so that I don't become the biggest bottleneck. It's competition I don't want to win, for sure. So I think even if we could just at some point, it doesn't have to be today, I mean, just think on it. If there's extra skills and stuff that you have, or something that you think you could help out with in case of an emergency, then if we know who can do what, who has the potential to do what, then maybe when we have these bumps in the road, we can get over them faster and not have everything seem like it's going to collapse, because it's all something's waiting on just that one person. And so I think, maybe in the future we could have a conversation like that. But Jenna is certainly still working on, sorry, that's my dog, working on finding the people to fill in those gaps, to make sure that we have multiple people for different tasks. But I'm going to mute myself now until he stops barking. So who wants to go next?
I want to just offer something up, just a thought, Angel, is that, especially when it comes to that technical stuff, if it's stuff that you have, you're not available for and others aren't available, is that someplace we can go to our partners? Because some of our partners have that tech stuff way down, and I don't think there's any reason we can't ask for help. So just a thought that kind of going forward, if we had like, how in every play you got your backup person, you got the, but maybe we need to go a 3 deep with the backup, right? And that especially when it comes, as we're approaching events that we know are, major events like MLK or like Earth Day or like, International Children's Month, or, or the campaigns, that those are times where you would want, maybe that's the place where you do that 3 deep, and I think it's another way, one of the things that we learned about partnership that I think is so important, if you don't give your partners anything to do, same thing with volunteers or whatever, right? You don't give them anything to do, they have no purpose. So, we might just, sorry, I just had to add that thinking into the conversation.
Well, that's definitely true. And when we started MLK, because Rick was out, John and Becky from Compassion Games definitely offered up some help on that, especially with like Zoom tech to get our events figured out and things like that. Even though we knew what we were doing, we really didn't have enough people to man that ship as all these events were happening, but they offered their assistance. So I don't think it's too far of a stretch for that to be a possibility, where we could speak with our partners and, what skills or resources do you have that we might need to call on you for in the future, that kind of thing. So
could I request that backup from Compassion Games that was offered for the 4th, 5th, and 6th sessions, which are on tomorrow, the next week, and the following week. I would love to have, I want to tap into that network for several reasons, and this is an easy way to do it. That, well, I'm sure some of you know that we had a snafu. This is where I started to feel the vacuum, is when Tuesday night came. I had invited all these people, and we're all in the waiting room waiting and waiting for something to happen. And I realized it's not going to happen. And so I sent out another email to all my people. I had about, I think, 8 that were trying, waiting, and people are, emailing and calling and saying, hey, I'm on hold here. What's going on? So I sent everybody another email, another Zoom room, which was my personal one. And we all came straggling in, it took about 10 minutes to do the transition, but we made it. And so that was 2 weeks ago. This past week, I knew ahead of time that neither Angel nor Callum was going to be available. And so I was able to send out my personal Zoom and say, this is where we're meeting. But the problem with that is it's very limited in what I can do. And it's certainly not live streamed, and which I don't know how important that is to be live streamed at an announced time. But, anyway, the point is, I would love to, since they have offered, I would love to draw on them as a resource, because as Shannon says, they're doing this in spades, with
Mhm.
all the work that they do. The way they do things is just pretty phenomenal, truthfully, and beyond the pale of what I can even comprehend. So I feel like if we can reconnect with them in a way that works for our team, which is much less advanced through the whole social networking realm. We have like a little peek in, I personally have a little peek into that, but it's way beyond anything that I can even begin to manage. So what I'm asking is, would it be best for me to reach out personally, for you to reach out? How do we, what is the sequence of communication so I can get the support I would like for the next 3 weeks, actually for the next probably 10 weeks?
Yeah, I'll reach out to them and see about that, to see how we can collaborate on that, because we just need to explore the possibilities. And it could be, maybe we are able to give them like a pretty good sized donation or something if they want to help us with that tech stuff as we're working on building out our own stuff and getting it under control, and to see if they want to jump in and help us with that, especially during our major events, while we work on building our team out so that we have more people that are available for that tech support when those events are happening.
Good, thank you.
Yeah, and also when you go to these events that they have, and the games that you're talking about, that they do, like you say, like Sue says, have it together. But they all talk about collaboration. And I guess what I'm saying is that, well, let's request it. Let's request collaboration and see where we're at with that, because we can talk about it all we want, but unless we are actually making use of it and doing it, and so so I think it's a great idea to reach out to some of these partners and others like that, because let's see what the meaning of collaboration is and how they see it and how they respond to it. And then us too, of course.
And I have one more thought to add to that. So much of what I'm doing in this community-wide climate conversation action program was inspired by the Compassion Games. And at the point when I was just beginning to see this as a game, community-based game, the Compassion Games was having a meeting, I don't know if they still do it, about, they called it a collaboratory. That's where I got it. And they said the point was to cooperate, explore ways to cooperate, collaborate, and co-create solutions. for a world that works for all, right? And so that's how I set this program up. It it really needs an infusion of that energy of what the Compassion Games has been doing for years. And I would love to make that connection in a way that works for all.
Yeah, well, you can certainly reach out to them and start that collaboration for, what you're doing specifically. Like you can absolutely do that.
Good. Okay.
Who's next? Aaron or Jana? I saw Heidi on the phone. Terry?
Yes, hi. I'm loving this conversation. One thing that just hit me was we just had kind of a similar situation with the Enlightened World Network where Ruth Anderson's house burned down. And so all of us had to pull together to kind of keep things rolling and get things in order for the coming months because she wasn't there to pull it together. One of the things that I did and how I stepped up, and this is what I'm going to offer here, is I was involved in training people in using the technology. I've been doing this for years. I do it all day, every day. And so I would hold training sessions and help people understand what to do with the technology. And I think it's great that we're utilizing another organization. I love John and Becky and the Compassion Games, but it's like if we can learn it ourselves, then we have that. We have the information. We don't have to say, hey, would you pull in and help us out? So I would be willing to hold training sessions on technology, on Zoom and going live and, whatever else is involved with it. We just need to get that scheduled with my schedule, and it would have to happen soon because I'm getting ready to be back on the road again. And I have some really exciting news. The Peace on Earth tour is going international. In August of this year, I will be traveling to Ireland, and I'm going to Dublin, and I will be doing land blessings there. I don't know if there'll be a peace poll yet. I think there might be. I'm kind of hearing that inkling. But yes, it's really happening that it's going international, and I'm so thrilled about that. So I just wanted to share that good news with everybody. And we're connecting the United States and Ireland in that very visit to bring the energy of what's been done here. There's a whole grid of energy that I've been placing throughout the country, and now I'm taking it across the sea. So just so terribly excited about that. What else? I'm here with Sharon Ria today. She's in another meeting, so that's why she's not here. And she sends her love to everybody and wants you all to know that she's thinking about Rick and everything that's happening with We the World. But I've loved all of this conversation today. Thank you all for coming together as a team, because that's how we do keep moving forward. And thank you, Angel, for stepping up and for being that go-to person that we all know that we have somebody, if we have something, we can take it to you. Thank you for that.
Thank you, Terry. I'm really excited to hear more about your adventure too.
Yes, I'm still in shock, I think. But yeah, it's an opportunity that came up and they're saying, come here. And I'm like, okay.
Take
I'll
lots
be
of
there.
pictures. I've always wanted to go to Ireland. So
Me
maybe
too.
someday.
It's a lifelong dream. And when it came true, I was like pinching myself, like, is this real? But, I've been putting it out there that this isn't just for the United States, that what I am doing with peace needs to go to every country. And so this is the beginning of that.
So Terry, I've been to Ireland, and I would love to have a conversation before you go. We have some time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Please, Shannon, I so have been wanting to connect with you.
Yeah.
And Shannon, where are you? Where are you?
I'm
Where are you looking?
I'm in northern Minnesota, right on the
Okay.
Ontario-Canadian border on Lake Superior.
That's
So-
one of the states I need to get to. I've been to 39 states now, And I want to get the rest of them. I want to get all of the United States connected with this Peace on Earth tour.
Well, there's a peace pole right here on my property, so yay.
Oh, yeah, speaking of that, I'm going to be in touch with Fumi today. James Twyman is doing something on Wednesday, and I want to see if the possibility of streaming what he is doing. It's a peace prayer in the Ukraine, and I want to see if we can connect that in and stream it on also on our channel on Facebook.
That'd be great.
Heidi, Aaron, Jana, we haven't heard from any of you yet if you want to share. And Catherine, if there was anything else that you wanted to add on to that. You started the process here.
I don't really have anything to add on. You know, I was just opening the door for kind of a heart-spaced conversation. So that's all.
Very much thank you for that.
I don't have anything, excuse me, either, just listening.
Okay. Thank you, Jana. Aaron or Heidi? There's Heidi. She got unmuted.
All right, I'm on. How's it going, everybody? It's been a while. Nice to see you all. And thank you for everything that you do, as always. Well, what happened to Rick scared the shit out of me.
And everybody.
And I started to get really worked up about getting him on some more shows that I want to produce with him and doing more things, you know, and all of you, honestly, I put on my big girl pants and I bought some land and I'm building a house and now I have to pay for it. So I have a full-time job and it's all in marketing and events. And yeah, God got me in and out of the public school system in under 3 months. No matter how hard I tried, I was in and out of there in under 3 months. So it is what it is. I learned what I learned. I know what I know. And the Center for Advancement is completely ready to go, finally, as of really 3 days ago. Okay, it was ready to go, but it's like done 3 days ago. So, you know, and now the bad guys have gotten a hold of it a little bit, and I have to fight a little harder, I guess. I have to be a little more vocal. They're twisting it and using it to conform, which is not what they're supposed to be doing. It's supposed to be used for freedom and for discovery and exploration. So I can share that here in this space. It's very frustrating and I'm not going to cry. Insofar as the theater, I now am managing and running events on a corporate, local, community, and potentially international level with Schulman Theaters. So we have 8 movie theaters. So I have already pitched to corporate about film festivals. They said yes. About bringing in World Water Day or Earth Day or International Children's Month or the 11 Campaigns for Change or whatever, right? To cultivate some kind of whatever we want, honestly, to create events in there. We the World is continuing to support me in holding the container for television, and we need help running it. I'm going to be honest. I can't keep up. It's too much. So it's a simple job. It's very simple in the back end. If we find somebody who's interested in learning how to run a network, this is the easiest, already set up turnkey way I've ever seen in my life. We did all the hard work. Now all it is putting in YouTube links, descriptions, and images and hitting the go button and then popularizing it in our community. Hey, we got a new this out. Hey, we got a new that out. Okay. And that's it. So I'm holding on to it just. It's like Rick and I are holding on to it just. So hopefully someone can come in and help with that. Okay. And then I can see how easily the public is inundated with the day-to-day struggles and challenges of life, where they have no time left to do anything good for anyone else. I can see that. I see it all around me. And I also see their stress and their dog is fighting in her crate. The plumber was here when she's still in there. I can see how they don't have time for the extra stuff. So, speaking from my space, if we just tell them really easily, and acknowledge it, we know you don't have any time to do this, but the only way you're going to feel better is if you do. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, we might as well just come out and freaking say it, because nothing else is catching them, because they're stressed, they're tired, they're overworked, they don't understand. There's this, there's that, who's telling the truth, who's not. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, the only way you're going to feel better is if you do things that allow you space to feel better. And the only way to do that is by accountability and commitment to something, right? So I've been, like I said, I've been doing, so my job for the Shulman Theaters is events and marketing manager. So I'm building all their stuff, just like we do with We the World, but they're paying me a salary, right? So it's like awesome to finally have money to be able to do what I need to do and to build what I need to build. Of course, well, a lot of it's going back into what we do and, you know, all of this stuff. So anyway, jumping forward, we're going to do a water appreciation campaign for March 22nd. Hannah has to do 15 community service hours for this year for her school. So she's going to build the campaign out for us. She's going to build the assets. And then I'll get that to you guys as soon as possible. Yes, we will partner with Dr. Emoto's foundation, the Hato Foundation. And then I think that's all we need to, right? That Water Peace Project is Lindsay Klemp, and then Hero is Dr. Emoto's son. So I'll reach out to him and we'll get ourselves circled up. And then just building water consciousness, right? Because that right there is what we need to do. And then Earth Day's coming up in April, so we can just carry that right through. MLK, I'll be honest, I'm having a hard time this year with the MLK. I don't know why, but I am. And I think it has to do with some of this social emotional learning, Black Lives Matter, the education movement. They're very confused right now. And I think that I was getting ready to do a post because I found something I put together last year for the campaign. So I was getting ready to do that also today and just launch that bit, but I don't know why I'm having such a problem. I'm sorry, but I am. I'm having a problem with the MLK campaign this year. I think, oh, I'll go do this, and then I can't. I just can't do it. And I'm like, there's a block there, and I don't know why. So.
And that's okay. We've got partners that came in.
Thanks, Angel.
We got a bunch of big events coming up, especially at the end. Jenna has put together with a new partner now, a really good show that's going to happen at the very end. It's going to be
Great.
kind of our closing ceremony, celebrate
All
African
right. Well,
music.
let's get it on TV because for sure we're holding that. We still have that container. Rick, like I said, Rick and I are holding on to that. He's helping me pay for it, and I'm helping hold the space and manage it and keep all the pieces together. And then now we just need somebody to come in who can literally just spend like even an hour a week. An hour a week would give us like 5 new shows a week. Do you know what I mean? 1 hour. It's literally that simple. And then we can just pop those in there, and it just needs to be somebody we can trust with the keys to the television kingdom. That's all. Okay.
Well-
So whoever that is, I'm open to that.
I will talk to Jenna. She did put together a video team that has been working with Rick before he got sick. So I'll talk to Jenna about that because there might be somebody on the video team that might want to take that up for
Cool.
us
It's
if we're
not a
going to get all
problem.
of our Wii stuff on there.
I can send them the login info. It would like take me 15 minutes to show them around, and then they could literally just get to work. And then once we have something to share, that's new, then we can, keep the momentum going and that kind of thing. So that would be awesome. Yeah, and I miss all y'all. And of course, we're gonna do June like we always do, in September like we always do. But what I would really like to put together moving forward in the future is some kind of like film festival thing for Earth Day in April, because we can actually bring it into the big theater.
That would be good because we're also
Right.
working on a multi-day virtual concert to celebrate the Earth and the Earth Warriors. So that's
Woo!
in
Can
that's
I
in the
play?
planning phases. So we'll
I
have
wanna play,
concerts.
I
So
wanna
if we
play.
have movies and
Don't forget
videos, that
me.
works.
Okay, good. I want to play. Yeah. What do you think, Sue?
I would like to talk with you separately
Mhm.
about the possibility of partnering with the Cinema Verde Environmental Film Festival that's happening this week in Gainesville, Florida. And of course, they've taken it on, making it an online as well as in-person event. But they have a remarkably beautiful, I'll send you the link to their website. And it just feels like that's something that would be translatable for doing again in a limited way, not the big way that they're doing it this week, but to make it something that we could use for our Earth Day coming up in April.
Sure. It can literally be as simple as finding the title and the producers, and then just giving me the title and the producers, and then I can just call them and ask them, hey, do you want to be involved in this thing? I think that's probably the easiest way. And then for programming on the TV, you just need written consent of whoever made it, as well as the YouTube link, a short description, and an image. And then we can go to town. It's really easy. Because Shannon, you might be able to. I haven't seen anything new coming out of like the Standing Rock movement. I haven't seen anything new coming from the water protectors. Myron Dewey was tragically killed like last month, and he was the head television guy for Standing Rock. He did all of their stuff when they were on the ground.
They're, just so you know, that that the efforts are really with Winona LaDuke and the Inbridge in Minnesota.
Okay.
So that's where the efforts are. There are over 1,000 mothers and grandmothers who need legal help, who have been charged for protecting the headwaters of the Mississippi from a foreign oil from Canada company who is putting in the Enbridge, which goes through the breadbasket of the United States to transport. And it's not even US oil, right? It's not for us. It's just it's being used to transport the oil down to the Gulf and out to the world. It's not our oil. It's not our, yeah. Anyway, it's bad.
Do they have representation from those people that were representing our Children's Trust?
They're all there. This is Honor the Earth. It's big. It's not getting any media coverage, but it's big. Yeah.
I wonder if we put it out there that we need documentaries made.
There's camps. There are things online. I would tap into, you can go to Honor the Earth, Heidi, and you can see what's there. We could take those efforts, and my suggestion would be not duplicate efforts, but elevate efforts that are already there and make sure that it has the visibility. The fact that people don't know that it's happening and are kind of like thinking Standing Rock was Standing Rock and not realizing there's a whole nother camp. Women have been camped out there in the middle of winter. So it's just not getting the coverage because People choose not to. So, anyway,
Yeah, I just
let's,
found it, just so you know, I'm just doing it while we're talking because
yep.
not a lot of extra time in the world. I wish every day had more, like just a little more time every day. That would be a good thing. Okay, so honor the earth. I'll pray for them, Shannon. I hadn't heard, honestly, I hadn't heard, and I
Yeah.
care. You know what I mean? So it's like,
Yeah.
oh, okay. Um, you know, if you want, I can add somebody to the Omnipresent Media page on Facebook who can help stay active with this stuff, like sharing what's important, because I think that that's the thing is like nobody's, I don't know who is reporting the truth. Okay, right now. So if we can be, we are conscious media. So if we can be the source for truth, truthful media, that would be really, really good. That was the point, So it's like you're reminding me of the reason why we started the television network in the first place. It's been kind of buried, because I've been just working to survive and doing the thing. And I'll tell you, being a freedom fighter full time is much more fun. It's a lot less money, but it's much more fun.
So I just want to I just want to invite everybody to to think about just what you're saying, Heidi. Is that there's a lot to pay attention to.
Yeah, there is. Yeah.
And so it really and what happens, like I'm going to come full circle here, right? Because what happens is when we get too focused to trying to pay attention to everything that's out here, that we forget to pay attention to here.
Yep.
Because we're trying to pay attention to the right thing, right? And so I'm just going to encourage people to bring it back to not all of the myriad of things that are out there to pay attention to, but to recenter yourself so that you pay attention and are present. So it's okay that you don't know everything that's happening. It's okay that you don't know, every event and struggle that people are having. It's what are we doing here now, right? And it's a hard one because we get, it's hard for all of us because we get pulled into those things, right?
Well,
And and we can hold, and Heidi, because you've done this, you can hold that space.
I teach it.
Right.
I'm like, this is what I teach. And the thing is as that heart that is connected and is in place showing up, right? All you have really is what's on your insides, and then how you're showing up to meet this world, and there are so many things that need help and our attention. And I think it's just that's it. Just one step at a time, one heartbeat at a time, one person at a time, one live stream at a time. I haven't live streamed. I haven't played music online. I haven't live streamed. You know what I mean? Because it's like community oriented right now. Because I spent all this time out there, right? All over the planet. And now I'm trying to get back to this place here. I had a meeting with the school system today. I was like, why can we not bridge? Why can we not bridge? Why isn't there a bridge? It's like, why isn't there? And she's like, I don't know. We don't even know the changeover is so fast, she said, that people don't even know who's responsible for what right now in the school districts. And I was like, well, World Water Day's coming up, Earth Day's coming up. These children have all these gifts. We don't know who they are. We got to teach them also the other things besides just math and reading and science, right? They need the whole thing. So it's just, I hear you. Thank you for bringing it up. And that's the daily thing. The Center for Advancement in Social Emotional Learning is ready, and there's a reason why it's advancement, because they're mucking up just regular SEL. So it's like, come on. I appreciate you. I think,
Thank you, Heidi.
I know. I think we should all be live again soon. And maybe we can just do it for the water appreciation campaign. You know what I mean? But we can all be in. Terry, bring the angels. Sue, bring the earth. Shannon, bring the prayer. You know, whatever you guys want to do. Catherine, I love how you speak. Jack, come on in. Angel, you know what I mean? And we'll just do a lovin'. Right? That's it. We'll just do a lovin' for the water and teach people what a lovin' looks like. Because they don't know. And it's very easy to get distracted in the world, like Shannon said, and like I've been saying too. You know, there's a million things to do. So let's plan a lovin', okay, for the water appreciation campaign.
Send us all more information. You do have the team email list, don't you? The
I
we
do.
team at we.net.
Okay, perfect.
That'll go to everybody that's here. We
Right.
still haven't heard anything from Aaron yet. Aaron, do you want to share what's happening in your neck of the woods?
Yeah, I'm just it's been a little crazy for me lately. The 2 weeks were kind of like good because I needed to step back and like kind of take care of some things, but now I'm getting back into it and I'm starting to work on my policy recommendation project. So I think I'm probably going to focus on the crisis in Ukraine. I spoke to Jana last week and I have them written down in my notes, but it's crisis in Ukraine, like the homelessness and income inequality issue during pandemic and exacerbated, I guess, as we head toward post-pandemic. And one other thing. And so I'm going to do some research and reach out to some people working on these issues and try to come up with like a brief, like maybe 3 to 5 page policy recommendation sheet that we can send out to press and to local officials. And so hopefully that can kind of get us started, like building up some sort of, I guess, resume in the policy world. Sarah, who's working on an empowerment project for women, is moving along with planning her project and trying to get funding. She wants to connect young women and business women as a mentor-mentee relationship in Pakistan, and that's like a pilot program. And then if that works out, maybe it could be implemented in other countries in other ways, adapted digitally, adapted so where it's safe in person, they can do it in person. But besides that, I think those are kind of my main updates. I'm really glad to hear Rick is doing much better. It's such a relief. I mean, January just seemed like a crazy month for him. So I'm so glad that you heard from him and he's doing well. And I'm glad to see everyone again.
Thank you, Aaron. I think this whole year has been crazy for everybody, but that's just the universe riding the ship. I think clearing out all the yucky stuff, getting it out of our way so that we can forge ahead.
Can I tell Aaron something real quick?
Mm-hmm.
Aaron, we already have a thing set up with Pakistan, exactly what you want, but we could always make it bigger. I would like to introduce you to Raheen Fatima. She's our youth ambassador for International Children's Month. She's 13. Her dad helps her and he's really awesome. And we're all super well connected with different people who are doing peace and education, and they have their own companies. Like Raheen has her own business, and Ibrahim, her brother, just launched his own television show. And then there's a group of like 9 of them from Pakistan that we work with who are our youth ambassadors for We the World and International Children's Month. So to save you from reinventing the wheel, maybe we can just introduce you to some people.
Yeah, that would be very helpful. And then because it's also working with We Can. And so I feel like this is like just a really good established foundation. So yeah, if you could email all, if you're on Basecamp, or I'm in that We email that Angel mentioned.
Sure.
But
Should
yeah,
probably just set up a meeting, yeah.
yeah, probably not this week, but definitely, and also with Sarah, because she is heading this up and she would probably be very excited to know about all that.
Sounds good. Yay. Welcome.
All right. Does anyone have any questions? Anything work related you're waiting on? You need to talk about anything like that? Everybody feeling good? Everybody knows what they're doing? All right, then. I'm so happy to see you all again and be back here with the WE family. You all are very inspiring.
You know what I'm happy about, Angel? We're gonna end on time. I think we should like make it a holiday, because I don't know if that's ever happened, has it? I mean, like, success, we've ended on time.
We did it.
And
Good job,
everybody
everybody.
got a chance to contribute. Whoa, that's a red letter day. Must be Valentine's Day, you guys.
It'll be our new annual WE celebration for our team. We'll celebrate Valentine's Day because we love each other.
But I think we should mark it down on the calendar. Like, I'm serious. Like, I like making holidays. So I think this should be
Yes,
one.
we can do that.
Well, it is recorded for, for whatever. Okay, you guys, I'm going. I was really glad. Thank you. And Sue, we will be there tomorrow night. We may need to connect to do a little something. Tomorrow is just like crazy. So if we need to connect before, let's connect today.
Okay.
Okay. All right. And Heidi will swing around. I'm glad that you're sorry if you got a little bit tossed and tumbled there in the education world process, but it's all good. We're just like you said, making way for what's coming next, right? Okay, till next time, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Love you guys.